Hello guys and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today we are doing an empties video, which is exciting because I can throw all this stuff away now. I have done, I think, this only one time on my channel before. I don't really accumulate like a ton of products. For whatever reason, I don't go through stuff very quickly. I think it's just because I have a lot of makeup and hair products. I actually have accumulated a good amount of stuff by now. I think the last time I did this was back in July, I want to say. So it's been a few months because now it's March. So it's been a few months, but if you guys want to see my garbage, then let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna get the larger things out of the way just because they're right here. This first thing I want to show y'all is this Ulta Volume Infusion Primer. It's a volume and strength like hair primer, which I know is kind of a weird thing. I've actually had this bottle for like years and years, and it took me so long to go through. And I guess I never really knew exactly what to use it for. It just says that it provides protection against thermal styling, conditions without leaving residue, helps minimize breakage. It's just kind of like a general hair protectant treatment almost. How I use this is right after I get out of the shower, I would just put my detangler in because I have to use a detangler. Even though my hair is not like crazy long, I have to use a detangler at all times or else I cannot brush this. And then I would also spray this in right afterwards and just brush it through along with my detangler. And it would just basically prep my hair for if I'm going to straighten it, if I'm going to blow dry it, if I'm going to curl it. It would give me that thermal protection. It would kind of just like add a bunch of different benefits to my hair. I can't honestly say that I noticed a huge difference with this, but it didn't do anything bad. I'm definitely not planning on like running out and repurchasing it or anything like that, but if y'all think some kind of volume strengthening protectant type product might work for you, then this would be good to use. Like I said, it's not amazing, but it's not bad either. Speaking of detanglers, I have one right here. I had to rip the packaging off of this. As you can see, that's all that's left because it was the worst. This is the Not Your Mother's, I forget the actual name. This is like the Not Your Mother's brand detangler, and the problem with this was that the packaging like kind of stopped right at the bottom of the bottle, so whenever you would go to spray it, the packaging would like crinkle up in your hand and you would kind of lose your grip on the bottle. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it was just driving me freaking crazy. So I ended up just ripping it off, and so it looks kind of stupid now, but it's a really good product. I do like it. It's just the packaging that sucks, but it's perfectly good for detangling your hair, so it got the job done. Y'all will need to excuse if my nose is red. I'm literally having the worst allergies, so I have to keep blowing and rubbing my nose. It's driving me crazy, but I apologize. So while we're talking about hair, this is a little unusual. I don't usually use up a ton of hair products, but I decided I just kind of wanted to start using things up. So things that I was getting a little low on, I was like, I'm using you till you're gone. So that's why we have quite a few hair products this month. This product is the, I don't know how you say this, R + Co. Analog Cleansing Foam Conditioner. I think this is just like more or less a travel size product. I think I got this in like a BoxyCharm or a Birchbox or something, but it was basically just a conditioner. Instead, it foams. I thought I was almost gonna shoot some out. It's just a foaming conditioner, so you just use it in the shower as a conditioner, but it's just foam instead of like your normal kind of like lather conditioner. So I honestly didn't feel like this really did anything in particular. I think the concept of it is so that it doesn't like weigh down your hair like some conditioners can do, but I don't really have that problem. So this was just kind of average for me, but it was kind of cool having a foaming conditioner. So if you think that that's kind of up your alley, this might be cool to try. But other than that, it didn't really like impress me that much. Another thing I have quite a bit of this month is setting sprays. I think I have 2 setting sprays, which is also very unusual. Even though I use them every day, I just don't seem to go through them very quickly, but I have 2 this month. The first one is the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix Illuminating Spray. This, again, I don't feel like I can really rave about this. Like, I don't feel like it was super illuminating. Like, I just don't feel like this was anything necessarily super spectacular, but it's a really good price. I'm pretty sure this is only like maybe $5 or $6, and it has a nice mister, which is always a good plus. I feel like that can make or break a setting spray is the mister, so it was fine. I'm not gonna go rebuy it or anything like that, but this e.l.f. one, on the other hand, I definitely have strong opinions on. This is the Illuminating Primer Mist, and it's the one that has that ball in it for you to shake it up, and like, this is the worst. It's a totally fine product, but the packaging sucks. Y'all have probably seen me use this in videos and complain about it, but this had the most aggressive spray of all time. It would literally like douse your face. It would feel like you were getting in the shower basically, and it would kind of leave like droplets all in your makeup and sort of like leave spots. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so I really didn't like it at all. I didn't really feel like it was that illuminating, and I didn't feel like it set my makeup that great, and I honestly just wanted to use it up pretty much. So it's actually not much product in here. It actually literally says nothing on this packaging other than e.l.f. and illuminating primer mist. So why doesn't it say anything? That's weird. I don't know how much product is in here, but like I feel like I use this up really quickly. Even though I don't like it, I was just trying to use it, and I went through it in probably like a month, so which is unusual for me. So I do not like this. I do not recommend it. I will not buy it or ever use it again because the sprayer sucks. And while we're on the topic of products that suck, this is the Butter London Stroke of Wow roll-on eyeliner. It's one of those little pizza cutter eyeliners, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I think these were like all the rage for a hot second there, but this came in a BoxyCharm, I'm pretty sure. I think I actually used this in a video, like a trying new products or like a BoxyCharm try on, and at first I thought I liked this. I was surprised in the video at how easy it was to use, but as I continued trying to use it, I'm not sure what happened, but this pretty much like stopped picking up product. Like you could literally dip it in here and like soak it and then watch. Like, do you see what I'm talking about? It's like very faint. It like barely picks up the product. You see how it just kind of like skips, and it's like very inconsistent, and it's almost like gray, and then in some areas it's like it doesn't even go. It's very, very difficult to use, I found, and I was barely getting any black on my lid. It would just skip as I was doing the line, and it got so annoying to use to the point where I was just like, I literally don't even want to use this anymore. And I had only used it like successfully like maybe 2 or 3 times, and before it just completely took a shit. So I do not recommend this. I don't like it. I feel like I'm wasting because I literally only got to use this a couple times before it stopped working. So I don't know what happened, but it's kind of wasteful, and I'm glad I didn't like buy it, because otherwise I think I'd be a little bit more frustrated and disappointed. But yeah, I don't like this product. I don't think it's good. I just don't think that there's any reason to have this. So this isn't even really like an empty. It's just like a, I'm getting rid of this because it's annoying. This next product I have had in my collection forever, and it is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. Y'all probably can see like the packaging is almost completely worn off, and it's completely gone. There was a little like ring, you know how your powders get when you have like a tiny bit left around the edges, but it ended up actually shattering, but there was basically nothing left anyway, so it didn't matter. So that's why it's like super, super empty. But I've had this for as long as this powder. Remember when this first like became everybody's favorite thing on YouTube? Like, that had to have been like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, it was forever ago, and this was like raved about. And so this was a perfectly good powder. I liked it. This was in the shade Creamy Natural, so it had a little bit of color, a little bit of coverage, really nothing too exciting. I'm not gonna go rebuy it because I have 100,000 powders, and I don't feel like this did anything that like a bunch of my other powders don't do. Like, I don't think it kind of stands out amongst the rest of my collection, so it was fine. I have another powder to show you guys, which is also a little weird. I don't go through powders very quickly, but this is, again, the packaging is completely gone, but this is the Revlon, what was this called? Nearly Naked pressed powder. This is the shade 020 Light Pale. So obviously, as y'all can see, kind of like I was talking about, it has that little ring like right on the edges where there's a tiny bit of product left, but you really can't get the product out anymore. It's kind of useless at this point. You could just see how used and abused this is, y'all. Like, do you see all of the powder all around the rim and everything? I use the crap out of this. I actually really, really like this powder. I actually don't think that they make this anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they make this anymore, but I actually found a few shades of this on clearance in Ulta in the summer, and so I ended up picking up like one of each shade that I usually use, which is this one and the lighter one, because I do really love this powder. I think that it's like really nice and finely milled. It actually does add a little bit of color and a little bit of coverage. This shade is only the second shade in the line. It's shade 2 Light, but it was actually a little bit dark for me, surprisingly, so I would use this whenever I had a foundation shade that was a little too light for like my neck or my skin tone. I would use this to just like darken it up a little bit and add a little bit of extra coverage. And so I really like it. I think it's a great powder. I recommend it if you can get it, or if they still sell it. I'll have to check on that, but I definitely recommend it. It was a really good powder. I also have a few mascaras, which is actually kind of expected because I go through mascaras fairly quickly because I use a ton of them. So I have 3, do I have only 3? No, I have 4 actually. So this first one is the Maybelline The Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. This is the one with like a really skinny little like plasticky rubber brush. I actually really liked this a lot. Y'all have probably seen me use this in a ton of videos. It's a really good mascara. My only complaint about it was that it would stay wet on your lashes for literally ever. Like I would put this on my lashes and I couldn't do another coat. I couldn't curl them again. I couldn't do anything for so long because this like didn't dry. So I don't know if that was just mine or if that's normally how this formula is. Let me know if y'all have tried this before, if you have the same problem, because it was just made it a little bit hard to work with, but I did really like the results. It was really black. I like how it thickened and like defined my lashes a lot. So I did really like it. I'm not going to repurchase it because I have a million mascaras that are either open or that I have as just like backups right now. So I'm not really in the market for a mascara, but I would use it again. The next one that I also absolutely love is the Ulta Plush Drama Volume Mascara. The packaging is actually different now. They've since changed it since I bought this and used this up. But this is actually one of my favorite mascaras, which is so random because it's just the Ulta brand. I don't even remember how I tried this. I think it might have come in one of those like little free gifts that you get with purchase. But I ended up completely falling in love with this. It has just this kind of a standard like tapered bristle brush, like really nothing too special. But there was something about this formula. It made my lashes look so nice. I actually use this on my wedding day in addition to like a million other mascaras because I like to like layer and kind of mix and match my mascaras every day. But I did love this one enough to use on my wedding day because it makes your lashes look so good. And I think it's only like $9, so it's not very expensive. It's a little bit random, but I actually really love it and recommend it. And I actually already have a backup of this because I like it so much. So this next mascara is from Wet n Wild. It's a Max Fanatic Cat Eye Mascara. This again is also nothing really special at all. It kind of has kind of cool packaging. It's kind of flat and then it's all kind of metallic and purple. It has one of these kind of like sloped brushes. It's rubberized. This side is a little bit longer and then the bristles get shorter all around. And you can see there's kind of a bunch of product on the end, but it's all like gunky and like gooey. You might be able to tell. That just got really dried out and really gross. And again, this was really nothing to write home about. I've never really been crazy about any Wet n Wild mascaras that I've tried. I think they're just super average. I mean, they're cheap and they get the job done. I primarily use this for my lower lashes just because it did literally nothing for my upper lashes. And then actually, again, this is kind of random too, but this is another Ulta Beauty mascara, but this is their Maximum Lashes mascara. And so this one comes in this pink tube. I think this might be a little closer to what this looks like now because you see how like they have their updated font and everything on here. So I think this is slightly newer packaging. This was pretty decent. This had one of those rubberized brushes, which I actually really prefer rubber brushes. It's kind of spiky with pretty long bristles, and I liked this perfectly fine. It definitely didn't impress me as much as this one. I don't think that it was anywhere near as good, but it was really good at separating and like defining your lashes. It wasn't very volumizing or like lengthening per se, but it kind of separated and gave you kind of like that spidery lash effect, which I actually really like. So I think this was fine. This is not necessarily something I would like recommend because it's not really, again, something that's gonna like change the game, but it was good enough. As y'all have probably already seen on my channel, if you haven't, I will link it up in the eye and in the description box, but I did a video using all like sample size products, like a full face using only samples or like little, you know, free foils that you get with certain orders. I did a whole video on that and I actually just continued using the products after the video was over, so I figured I would include some of them in this video just to kind of give you guys an update on the products, if I liked them or didn't like them, and let you know that I continued using them. The first one here is this Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer sample. This is, you know, supposed to be a primer and a moisturizer in one, and this was totally fine. Like, I do think that it moisturized. I don't think it does much in terms of priming, but it does feel really good on your skin and does provide a little extra moisture. I don't think I'm gonna buy it or anything, but it was definitely like a decent moisturizer. The next item actually that I really liked is this Too Faced Born This Way a medium to full coverage foundation sample, and I actually really liked this. This was the lightest sample that I had, and it was way too dark for me, but I kind of made it work because I actually really liked it. I don't really go for like a ton of high-end foundations just because I have so many drugstore foundations that I absolutely love, but I did really like how this one looked and how it wore and how it applied. So I think this is a like higher end foundation that I would definitely consider purchasing because I really liked the results with this sample. The next item I have here is this Clarks Botanicals Anti-Puff Eye Cream. I actually loved this. Y'all saw in that video if you watched it that I had a really like a pleasant reaction to this product. This felt so freaking good under the eyes. It was so like smoothing, almost like made you feel like you had almost like a silicone primer in the sense that it made it so smooth under your eyes. It felt so nice. I've never even heard of this brand, this Clarks Botanicals, but I really like this product, and I actually got a ton of uses out of this little sample. So I think this would be something that I would maybe consider purchasing if I would like know where to get it. But I really did like it a lot. Next, we have this Ole Henriksen Truth Serum. This, I mean, didn't really do a ton. It was just to brighten and be anti-aging and hydrating, but like you can't obviously really test the anti-aging qualities of a product in just a little sample. So I don't really feel like this did a lot. I mean, it was a nice feeling, like it felt nice on the skin, I guess you could say. And it did provide a little bit of hydration, but other than that, I don't feel like it did a whole lot. Next, I have this L'Occitane Immortelle. I hate that this is all in French. This is some kind of like face cream. This smelled very good. I can't really smell a ton right now because I'm so congested, but I can smell it a little bit, and this smelled amazing. But it was kind of just like a standard moisturizer. It was thick, it was creamy, it felt really nice, but I don't think it was anything that like I haven't ever tried in a moisturizer before. It didn't change my life. It did smell so good though. Like I would love if I happened to have more of this, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it. I have another little serum primer. This is the Bye Bye Lines serum from It Cosmetics. There wasn't really like a ton in here. It was like a very narrow little sample, and this is again another like wrinkle smoothing anti-aging product, so you can't really test out how much anti-aging qualities it has in just like a little baby sample like this. So I don't really have much to say about this, but it was kind of like a really smoothing, slightly like moisturizing silicone-y type of product, and so I liked how it felt. I used it as a primer, but like I don't know if it actually did anything. And then actually another primer. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For No Filter Mattifying Primer and Complexion Perfector. That has the longest name ever. So this I primarily used as kind of like a pore filler more or less, which is actually the first thing that it says on the back, is that it instantly helps reduce the look of pores, and it kind of has that same like a texture. You can kind of see a little bit coming out. It almost looks, if you can kind of see it sticking out, it looks just like the like Benefit Professional in the sense that I just kind of applied it right around my nose, like the sides of my nose, as like a pore filler, and it did basically the same thing. It kind of has that skin tone color and just kind of like fills in your pores and smooths over them, and I did think that it worked for that. It's also apparently a mattifier, which is why I only used it there, because I don't really want to mattify all of my skin, but it was a good little pore filler. I don't remember if I used this little guy in that video or not, but this is a little mini Clinique Moisture Surge, what is this called? 72-hour auto replenishing hydrator. It's just this little like travel size. As you can see, I used the crap out of this. I actually got a ton of use out of this, even though this is just a little sample size. I used this for like 2 weeks and I loved it. It was really nice. It felt really good. It was moisturizing. It was smoothing. It was like a thinner consistency. As you might be able to tell, it was kind of almost like a serum in the sense that it was really thin. It wasn't like a thick, like white creamy moisturizer, but it felt like nice on the skin. I really do like Clinique like skin products. All the ones that I've used I really liked, so it was really nice. I'm not sure that I'm gonna buy it because I again have a lot of moisturizers right now, but I think I would like consider using this if I ever needed to like restock on something, because I did really like it. And then this product I did not use in that video, but I did use up recently, and this is one of these Wonder Beauty gold eye masks. This is just one of those under eye masks that, you know, the little gold ones that you just put under your eyes. And again, I kind of feel like these are more or less just kind of like a pamper product. It's not really like necessarily something that's gonna change the look of your skin or the look of your under eyes upon like the first use, which this was the only one that I've used. I think I have another one of these. But it just kind of feels nice, and it just kind of makes you feel refreshed and awoken, or it makes you feel a little bit more awake, and it just feels more like a little pamper, you know, you time kind of thing, rather than something that's gonna like really have a big effect on your skin. But it was nice. 2 more products left. This first one, this one is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. It was that one that had the little pump at the top. I'm not even sure if they make this anymore. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've had this for years and I really, like I said, like an illuminating base. However, I had this in my collections for so long that I knew it was gonna probably start going bad. So I was trying to use it up and it eventually got to the point where whenever I like pumped it out, it like separated and like half of it was kind of like the illuminating like pinkish kind of like shimmery portion, and then the other half was just like an oil. So I think the formula just basically started breaking down on this, and so it's not actually empty. I didn't use it up all the way, but it kind of just started going bad and getting gross, and I didn't want to put something that was separating on my skin because my skin is fairly sensitive and I didn't want it to break me out. So I'm just gonna get rid of it, but I did like it while I had it and while it worked. It was very, very, very illuminating. If they do make this, I would definitely recommend it if you like an illuminating base, an illuminating primer. And last but not least, I have this Lottie London Wing Woman liquid eyeliner. I think I picked this up because Casey Holmes had like raved about it, but it's just this little felt tip liquid eyeliner pen and it was super nice. I really did enjoy it. I liked the applicator, I liked the formula, I liked everything about it. The only thing I didn't like is that it didn't last very long. I feel like, as a lot of these eyeliner pencils do, I just feel like it dried out so quickly. Like, I feel like I only had this for like maybe a month or two, maybe not even, probably like a month before it started like just getting kind of hard to work with, and it wasn't really as pigmented, it wasn't as easy to use. I was a little bit disappointed by that, so for that reason I do not think that I would repurchase this, but it was a nice eyeliner and it was pretty easy to use. If it lasted longer, I would really, really love it, but it doesn't. So that is everything for this video, guys. I am so excited to be able to throw this stuff away finally because I have been accumulating this for so long and I need to throw it away. So I hope you guys enjoyed talking about all my garbage. I would love to know if y'all have tried any of these products, what you think of them. If you guys like these videos, definitely let me know. I can continue to do them as I collect more trash. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here. And until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye, guys.